Keep your eyes open and drive carefully. You should see lots of animals.
Oh, roger that, Wilson. If you see those stripe-legged animals over there on the right-hand side, those are okapis. And because the okapis have those striped legs, a lot of people think that they're related to the zebra. But they're not. They're actually the only living relative of the giraffe. Now they're very, very shy, and they like to hide in very dense forests. That's why the Western world didn't even know they existed until 1901. The yellowback. Right now for me it's behind this tree. Oh, there's two of them. Black rhinos are very, very rare to see in Africa because there's so few of them left. There's just 3,600 of them on the entire continent because poachers have gone after them for their horns that are on their nose. And not even their 1-inch thick skin or their ability to charge up to 35 miles per hour will even help against those poachers. If you look up on the right-hand side, there's a light brown antelope up there. It's called a greater kudu. They're the second largest antelopes in Africa. And the males, they are the tallest storks in Africa. They get about 5 feet tall, with wingspans of about 8 to 9 feet. Then those white birds that are back there on the stump, those are yellow-billed storks. And the yellow-billed storks, they get their belly submerged. But when hippos are born, they get up to about 85 pounds. And when they're fully grown, a mature male will tip the scales at 5,000 pounds. There's another one right there in the water. Looks like we're going to see a whole bunch of them over on the other side. Once they their own kind of way of swimming, they kind of walk and glide along the bottom of the river. Now these large white birds, these are pink-backed pelicans. And they're going to work together to herd the fish to the shallow portions of the water so that they all can get enough food to eat.
Look at all the hippos. Look at them sleep.
Look at all the people. Look at the
Niles. And Nile crocodiles, they get a lot larger. They're a lot more powerful and a lot more aggressive than the American alligator. Those jaws of theirs get about 1,200 pounds per square inch of pressure each time they bite down. That's enough pressure to crush and even shatter the bones of their prey. Now sometimes you'll see them with their mouth open. And speaking of different, you see this tree on the right hand side? It's called a baobab tree. But some people call them the upside down tree. That's because they only have leaves for about 3 months of the year, and that helps them conserve on water. They'll store the water inside the large trunk. That way they can last through long periods of drought. Alright, now here is my favorite view in the entire reserve. And the savanna below us is part of the Serengeti grassland system, and millions of animals will migrate through here. So many animals will migrate through the savannas that some people call them the animal superhighways. If you look over onto the right hand side, right there by that clump of trees at the bottom, there's a couple of little ones there laying down. Those are Tommies, or Thompson's gazelles. Now because of their size, a lot of people think that they're babies, but they're not. That was actually full grown for them. They only get up to about 6 lobes up here inside these bushes and trees. They're called Patterson elands, and they're the largest antelope in Africa. And the males will get up to about 6 feet tall to the shoulder, and they can weigh up to about 2,000 pounds. Now these tall cones of earth that are coming up around, they'll scratch at them and they'll scratch at them until they wear them down, kind of like the one over here on the right. And then once they wear them down, little antelope will use them as lookout posts to see if there's any predators like lions or cheetahs that are hiding in the tall grasses. It looks like also there's a Grant zebra. Their jumping ability, they can jump up to 30 feet in a single bound. That's about as long as this entire truck. The gray ones that are around the stump, those are white-bearded wildebeest. And then the dark brown ones with the really long horns, those are the Ankole cattle. They're also known as the Watusi cattle, because the Watusi tribe in Africa was the first tribe to domesticate them. And their horns get about 6 feet long and about 20 inches around at the base.
That's huge.
It's not huge, that's true.
And they get the name reticulated from the Latin word reticulata, which means net. And if you look at the pattern in the fur, they do have a net-like pattern. They're also the tallest animals in the world. They get about 18 to 20 feet tall. Roger that, Wilson. We'll look for anything extra suspicious. Now, if you look up onto the left-hand side, up on the rocks, there's actually a mandible monkey. Let's see if I can pull up a little bit forward. Oh, there's another one by the rocks. Between the rocks and the... Let's see if I can find her. A couple of elephants. Corner is those some of the nutrients that they need that they don't get from the leaves, the grasses, or the fruit that they can find.
You put the grass there so it stays put.
Now you see how there's stuff on the back? Sometimes they'll throw dirt, mud, water, leaves. And the reason why they do that is even though they're 13 to 15 years, and that entire time they're with their mother, they're learning what to eat, where to get water, and how to interact with other elephants. Alright, so it does look like there's some flock of flamingo, the flamingo species. They do have one bright pink area though, and that would be inside their wings. So if one of them would open up their wings, we could see that. You might also notice how some of them are a lot lighter, maybe even gray, and those would be the young. And when they're born, they're completely gray, and they become pink because of their diet, which normally consists of tiny brine shrimp and other water creatures that are high in keratin.
And balancing.
They get up to about 40 miles per hour. Also, their eyes are larger than their brain.
Oh, look at this one.
Now the white rhino, they are Africa's greatest.
I suggest you go with...
See if we can see it here. See how well we can see it. It looked like it was sleeping, so...
Down the tray.
Alright, as I make this turn, you can start to see it. Yeah, right there by the rock, you see the fur of the mane?
Yeah.
Everything like that right there. Lions are one of the few big cats who are going to hunt cooperatively,
Way up there.
or in their prides, and it's usually the females that will do the hunting, but they will be inactive, just burrowing mammals in Africa. The ones with a little bit of brown, those are scimitar horned oryx, and both of those species are extinct in the wild. So you're only going to find them in protected areas and in reserves